Alright lads, Daniel Dubois recently gave an interview with IFL TV in which he was discussing basically his loss to Joe Joyce. This was his first interview following the loss to Joe Joyce, discussing his plans moving forward. He also announced that he's changing his team. Alright, now this is a book called Intuition. It's not a plug, by the way. This is a book called Intuition, right? It's by a girl called Kate Howell. Okay, now I started reading that yesterday. I was thinking to myself, I need to do a video on Daniel Dubois this weekend, and I need to ask the question, who is he? Should he change trainers? Who is he going to return against? When will he return? Right? Well, Daniel Dubois, he's done it all for me. You know, he's given me all that I need to talk about now. It's a bit like Chisora and Usyk. You remember I done a video actually as well. This is something where I just find that this just funny. Remember I done a video where I asked where's Eubank Jr. and within a couple of days he'd signed with the Sauerlands, and a bit the same with Chisora Usyk, where I asked the question, where is that fight? When is it going to get announced? And on the day it got announced, you know, maybe your boy's onto something here. Maybe he's onto something with all these kind of predictions and all these videos I do. Maybe I'm onto something. In all seriousness though, he has changed. Martin Bowers, who was his trainer manager, I believe he's still being retained on as a manager in Team Dubois, but he's no longer going to be the trainer, which is a good move in my opinion. I don't think Martin Bowers is, look, I don't want to sound harsh on the guy, but I don't think as a trainer he's really quite there. I don't think that Daniel Dubois would have been well advised to remove him as a trainer. If you want to keep him as a manager, if he's doing a good job managing Dubois, no issue there. But as a trainer, Dubois needed someone else. He's got Mark Tibbs in now. Now Mark Tibbs, former trainer of Dylan White. Dylan White, he improved immensely under Mark Tibbs. There was a few things early on under Mark Tibbs that I did question. Like if you look at Dylan White when he was training with Jonathan Banks, he was sitting down a lot more on his punches. When he moved on to Mark Tibbs, very early on, it was noticeable that he was not sitting down as much in his shots. He was, I think Isaac Chamberlain coined the phrase that Dylan White used to throw punches like a heavyweight, now he throws them like a welterweight. So that was one thing I noticed with Mark Tibbs. And Mark Tibbs has shown me to be a very good trainer, very competent trainer, and I think he is going to do great work with Daniel Dubois. Personally, for me, I've nothing against Mark Tibbs. I would have him with an American trainer. I just think that a lot of the trainers in America, they're more, I think I said this in a live stream, they're more, how do I word it? They're more adverse with different weights and styles. So what I've seen with certain trainers is, in the UK at least, not all of them, they wouldn't have a problem with getting a welterweight and a heavyweight on the same kind of training routine, which is a no-go. It's a no-no. You really, if you have a heavyweight, he cannot be on the same routine as a welterweight, whether it's training or it just doesn't work, right? I think the American trainers, from what I've seen, they have a lot more, right, with this heavyweight, he's going to be doing this is whether he's going to be doing this. With certain UK trainers, I just think it's kind of all one size fits all. I don't think that's necessarily good. Mark Tibbs, as I said, he's shown me to be a fairly competent trainer. He's done good work with Dylan White. Obviously, he was removed from Team White for Xavier Miller. I think logistics was the main issue with that. I think that Tibbs didn't want to travel to Portugal, as far as I'm aware. That was the main reason. And Dylan White obviously felt comfortable with Xavier Miller. He's obviously brought in, I can't remember the guy's name. Someone will leave it in the comments. He was with Lennox Lewis. Something Knight. Name slipped me. But Mark Tibbs with Daniel Dubois, I think this is a good move. They were talking about April, was when the doctor said he's got the okay to come back. Now, me personally, right, even if he's able to come back in April, I would hold it off until the end of the summer. Personally, I think Dubois has time on his side. He's a young man. If he had decided to go to the Olympics, right, and they do go ahead this year, he'd be turning pro this year or next year. He'd still be in his mid-20s. Plenty of time. So I think Dubois, if I was managing him, I'd be advising him, we've got plenty of time. You stepped up against Joe Joyce. It was man against boy in there. We don't need to we need to just slowly build you back up. Yeah, you quit. You had a broken orbital bone or a broken ice, or something to do with his eye. I forget exactly what it was. We need to make sure that that's healed. We need to make sure that mentally you're in a good place, and we need to just gradually bring you back up. There's no need for Daniel Dubois to be rushed, I don't think, on the comeback trail. There's no need for him to have like one fight and then jump straight back in with someone, you know, European level or anything like that. No, plenty of time to work with this guy. I think he needs to be built up gradually. I think he needs to acclimatise to work with a new trainer, Mark Tibbs. I think he's been with Martin Bowers since he turned pro. Alright, so a lot of work needs to be done on Dubois. I hope this change of scenery and work with Mark Tibbs may bring a bit more out of Dubois, because he's very socially awkward from the interviews I've seen. There's not much there to him at all. I've heard a few people make assumptions about why that is. Look, I don't doubt that. Well, you know what I'm referring to. I don't know, personally. I don't doubt it, though, just judging by how socially awkward he is. But I've known people similar in that position with Dubois, and they've been goofy as hell. And they've actually been annoying, believe it or not. So it's hard to know. But I suppose the common factor was they were very childish. And Dubois is a bit like a man-child. It's strange. It's really weird. Maybe the change of scenery with Mark Tibbs will do him the world of good. Honestly, I actually think Dubois, and this is going to sound strange, but I think that he would do well with a really loud, abrasive trainer in his corner, if that makes sense. As I just was looking out the window, there was like a cop car went up the road. Where I live in Dublin is the middle of absolutely nowhere, so if we see a cop in Dublin, where I am, it's just like, what the hell? So that's why I was just taken aback there. But I think Dubois may actually stem from having someone loud in his corner. I think Dubois is just so mellow and relaxed. It's just a bit off. I think if you got someone real fiery like a Peter Fury, or not Peter Fury, like John Fury. I'm not necessarily saying John Fury should train him, but someone like that maybe actually would do. I don't know. Maybe that might actually bring something out in Daniel Dubois. He's already aggressive. He's already vicious, but maybe he just needs to. I don't know. It's just there's something off about him, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. He just comes across that way. But anyway, just reporting on this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed the video. The reason I'm cutting it short is the battery was at 6% when I started recording, and I don't want this phone to die because it's happened a few times when I've recorded videos and it's not fun. So, and I can't see if it's on or not. So, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Is this a good move? Do you think, like me, Dubois should hold off on coming back for a couple more months, acclimatise to your new environment, get a bit of confidence back in, and then come back to the ring, have a few knockover fights, and see how you go? Lads, smash the like button on the way in if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new. #GMansRocks, all that good stuff. Lads, I'll talk to you. Peace.